Yes, I'm going to take some credit here because I've been wrong plenty of times. But with Matt Stafford and the Rams, I've been dead right. As I predicted, they are playing in a home Super Bowl this weekend. And after what Stafford has done this year, there is something I never want to hear NFL fans say ever again. Hello everyone, welcome back to Into Sports. I'm your host Evan. Today we're talking about Matt Stafford. But before I do me a big favor and click the subscribe button because it would help me out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I think there's only about 5 guys in the league who could have done what Matt Stafford did in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. And I know, they only scored 20 points, but Stafford was phenomenal in the game. His ability to stand in the pocket under massive duress. Tom Brady would have brought a mattress onto the field and curled up into a ball. But Stafford took hit after hit and threw strike after strike down the field with no space to step up in the pocket. And this is a guy who went into Tom Brady's house and quite simply outplayed him in the divisional round. Literally sent the GOAT into retirement. But the problem is, Stafford was labeled as a total loser throughout his career. Everyone said he couldn't win this, he couldn't win that. So that was the narrative that hovered over him like a storm cloud. So many people didn't care about anything else he did because they couldn't get past his win-loss record. Well, his win-loss record looks totally different this season. In fact, he has already won 3 playoff games this year, but in 12 years in Detroit, he won 0 playoff games. So the question is, what did Matt Stafford change this year to have that kind of drastic improvement in the win column and the success column? Well, the truth is, he changed nothing. You evaluate him in a typical year in Detroit and compare that to this year in LA, and he's the same guy. He's individually no better than he was before. But the wins and the success has been totally different. And that's because of his surroundings. Matt Stafford has always had winning qualities despite losing most of his games, which probably sounds weird. But when you think about winning, you think about the fourth quarter. You think about clutch plays in crunch time. Well, according to Pro Football Focus, Matt Stafford is not only the highest graded fourth quarter quarterback this year, but he's the highest graded fourth quarter quarterback over the last 3 years. 2 of those years being in Detroit. And another winning quality, he has the 7th most game-winning drives ever. And when you look at the career leaders in game-winning drives, that's a list full of Hall of Famers. That's a list anybody would want to be on. So I think we can establish that Matt Stafford has always been a winner, despite not actually winning that much in Detroit, which is why we can finally put the quarterback win stat to rest. I never want to hear about it again. Don't tell me about a quarterback's win-loss record. I don't want to hear about it. That's over. Winning and losing is about more than one guy, and Matt Stafford is the greatest evidence of that. In sports and really life in general, talent plus surroundings equal success. I don't care if you're a Harvard grad, if you work for a dysfunctional company, poor management, limited resources, the company isn't going to have much success. I mean, if Tom Brady was drafted by the Lions, then he wouldn't have 7 Super Bowls, and he'd probably only have a couple of playoff wins. But that doesn't mean he isn't great. We need to evaluate the player, not the team. So even if Tom Brady was drafted by the Lions, hypothetically speaking for a second, if Tom Brady was drafted by the Lions, well, you just watch the film and you can see wow, this guy's great. The wins don't matter. Because if he was drafted by Detroit, he wouldn't have won a lot of games, but he would have looked really good and played really well. Because the win-loss stat is a reflection of the team as a whole, not the reflection of an individual player. And Matt Stafford just proved that. Now there's one more domino I have to tackle on my Matt Stafford defense tour, because Jared Goff also made it to a Super Bowl with the Rams. And as I was doing some research, Google gave me some common questions. Is Stafford really better than Goff? Well, yes, he is. Undoubtedly. Stafford is just simply way better under pressure, and he's a way better downfield thrower. And you can see Sean McVay, boy genius, has totally changed his offense with Matt Stafford under center. They live out of empty sets, which means nobody in the backfield. So McVay really just leaves it up to Stafford to make plays on his own. Whereas with Goff, it was all about play action and bootlegs and easy completions underneath. So yes, Stafford is definitely better than Goff, and they would not still be playing if they didn't make that trade a year ago. So here's the takeaway on Stafford. He's special. He's a star. And I've been telling everyone that for years. But all I heard was, oh, he doesn't win. Well, I got news for you. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, whoever, they weren't going to have big success in Detroit either. So we need to stop being lazy and talking about a quarterback's wins. Because Stafford has always been a winner, even though he's lost a lot of games.